Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, enthusiast, or even just someone who stumbled across an interesting coin, then today's video is for you. We're diving into one of the most iconic US coins that many of you might have in your pocket right now, the 1977 Jefferson nickel. We'll talk about its history, the different varieties it comes in, and, most importantly, its current value in circulation. So, let's get started. The Jefferson nickel, as many of you may know, was first minted in 1938 and features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, along with his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The coin has seen some slight design modifications over the years, but the 1977 issue remains the classic example of this long-running series. Before we get into the coin's value, let's first set the stage with a bit of history. By 1977, the U.S. was already well into its 20th century, and the country had seen its fair share of economic ups and downs. The nation was still recovering from the 1970s inflationary period, where prices were on the rise and the economy was adjusting. In terms of coins, the 1977 nickel was part of a broader minting effort to replace older designs with new, more durable versions. The Jefferson nickel, with its iconic Monticello design, was created to honor one of the founding fathers of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the U.S. and the author of the Declaration of Independence. All right, now let's take a closer look at the actual design of the 1977 Jefferson nickel. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, designed by artist Felix Schlag. His likeness has been used on the nickel since the coin's debut in 1938. If you look closely, you'll notice the inscription Liberty and the year 1977, which is of course the date we're focusing on today. On the reverse of the coin, you'll see an image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, which has been featured on the nickel since its inception. Above Monticello is the inscription E pluribus unum, and below the building you'll find Monticello, along with the coin's denomination, 5 cents. What is the value of the 1977 Jefferson nickel today? Well, for the average collector, or someone just looking through their change, the 1977 nickel is typically worth just 5 cents, its face value. This is because, in terms of mintage, this coin wasn't rare when it was made. However, as with any coin, there are always factors that can influence its value. The condition of the coin, the presence of certain mint marks, and whether it's a proof coin or a regular circulation coin can all impact its worth. While most 1977 Jefferson nickels are common, there are some interesting things to note about certain varieties. For example, certain coins minted in Denver marked with a D or Philadelphia marked with an P may have slight differences in appearance due to the minting process. You're a collector. You might want to check the condition of your 1977 nickels. Coins that are in mint condition, meaning they have little to no wear and tear, can sometimes be worth more than their face value. For example, a 1977 nickel in uncirculated condition could fetch anywhere from 10 to 25 cents at most, depending on the demand. But if you're planning to sell or trade your 1977 Jefferson nickel, it's important to note that it's not going to be a big moneymaker unless it's in exceptional condition or part of a larger collection. In the world of coin collecting, rare nickels in collectors, that being said, the 1977 nickel is still an essential part of any complete Jefferson nickel collection. It's an important coin in the history of U.S. currency, and owning a full set of Jefferson nickels from 1938 to today can be a rewarding experience for any numismatist. To really figure out if you've got something special, you should take a good look at your 1977 nickels for any signs of errors or variations. Some collectors focus on misprints, unusual die cracks, or other anomalies that may make a coin stand out. For example, look for any doubling of the text or any strange marks around the edges. These can sometimes increase the value of the coin. If you find something unusual, it might be worth getting a professional appraisal. So, Where can you buy or sell a 1977 Jefferson nickel if you want to add it to your collection or cash in on a valuable find? There are a number of reputable coin dealers, both online and offline, who specialize in U.S. coins. Websites like eBay, Etsy, and specialized numismatic shops can be great places to look for coins. Just make sure to check the reputation of the seller. And 1972 Jefferson nickel, a humble yet significant piece of American coinage. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since its debut in 1938. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin pays tribute to Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, with a bold portrait on the obverse and an image of his home, Monticello, on the reverse. On the obverse, you'll see Jefferson's left-facing profile, along with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust" on the left, "Liberty" on the right, and the date, 1972, just below his chin. Flip the coin over and you'll find the iconic depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. Surrounding the image are the words "E pluribus unum," Monticello, 5 sentence, and United States of America. Now, let's talk about the 1972 Jefferson nickel in detail. This coin was minted in 2 locations, Philadelphia and Denver. Here's a quick breakdown. The Philadelphia Mint struck 258934000 coins, and these don't have a mint. The Denver Mint produced 351694600 coins, and these are marked with a small D on the reverse, to the right of Monticello. 1983 Jefferson nickel, a small but mighty coin in American history. We'll uncover its unique features, its mintage, and, of course, its circulated value. So grab your coin collection and let's get started. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since it was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features a profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and a depiction of his Virginia estate Monticello on the reverse. This design remained largely unchanged until 2004, making the 1983 Jefferson nickel part of a long and iconic series. So, what makes the 1983 Jefferson nickel special? Let's start with the numbers. In 1983, these nickels were minted at 2 locations. That's a combined total of over 1.18 billion coins. With such high mintage numbers, the 1983 Jefferson nickel isn't rare in the traditional sense. But there's more to the story. Here's where it gets intriguing. In the 1980s, coin collecting had a major twist. Many people saved coins from earlier years, but due to the economic climate of the early 80s, fewer 1983 nickels were pulled from circulation in pristine condition. As a result, finding uncirculated 1983 Jefferson nickels, 1987 USA 5-cent Jefferson nickel. Whether you're a collector or just curious, stick around to learn all about its design, minting history, and circulated value. A montage of historical images, including Thomas Jefferson's portrait and vintage coin minting press, the Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. currency since its debut in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It was designed by Felix Schlag, whose iconic portrait of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and the depiction of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the reverse have stood the test of time. The design remained largely unchanged until 2006, making the 1987 nickel part of this long-running tradition. A left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the mint year, 1987. A detailed image of Monticello, accompanied by the inscriptions, "E pluribus unum, United States of America," and 5 cents. These nickels are composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving them a weight of 5 grams and a diameter of 21.2 millimeters. In circulated condition, the 1987 Jefferson nickel typically holds a face value of 5 cents. However, well-preserved uncirculated examples can fetch higher prices. In uncirculated condition, values range from 30 cents to $1, often valued between $2 and $5 depending on condition and certification. Nickels with errors, such as off-center, strikes, or die cracks, can command significantly higher prices, so keep an eye out for those rare finds. If you're collecting 1987 Jefferson nickels, focus on finding coins with minimal wear, sharp details, and clean fields. Storing them in coin holders or albums can preserve their condition and value over time. Don't forget to check proof sets for pristine examples of the 1987 S nickel. The Jefferson nickel, first introduced in 1938, is one of the longest-running coin series in U.S. history. It was designed to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The coin replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since in 1938. The U.S. Mint held a public design competition for the new 5-cent coin. The winner was Felix Schlag, a German-American sculptor whose design featured schlags. Design was slightly modified before production, but it retained its distinctive character. It symbolized Jefferson's contributions to the nation, including his vision for democracy and his architectural genius. Jefferson nickels from this era are notable for changes in production quality and striking clarity as minting technology improved. The mint introduced new measures to address coin shortages. However, the Jefferson nickel's composition and design remained unchanged. The design underwent its first major changes during the Westward Journey nickel series, temporarily replacing Schlag's Monticello reverse with themes from the Lewis and Clark expedition. By 1987, the Jefferson nickel had been in circulation for nearly 50 years, still bearing Schlag's original design. Key details for this year include standard composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel. Over 1.2 billion coins were minted across the Philadelphia and Denver facilities, reflecting the coin's essential role in everyday commerce. The design of the 1987 nickel reflected a sense of continuity, preserving its historical roots while meeting the demands of modern circulation. Few coins have remained in circulation for so long with minimal design changes. It honors one of the United States founding fathers and his contributions to democracy, education, and architecture. The Jefferson nickel is a staple in American pockets, cash registers, and coin collections, symbolizing stability in the nation's coinage system. Today, the Jefferson nickel continues to connect us to America's history while serving its practical purpose as a medium of exchange. 2002 Jefferson nickel, a coin that millions of Americans have handled, but do you know its true story and value? Stick around to find out. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1938, when it replaced the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, with Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate, on the reverse. In 2002, the Jefferson nickel maintained its classic design, but it was part of the last few years before the big redesign of 2004 and 2005. Hitch introduced the Westward Journey series. Over 1 billion Jefferson nickels were minted that year across the Philadelphia and Denver mints. These large mintages make the 2002 Jefferson nickel a common coin in circulation. But there's more to its story than just numbers. While the 2002 Jefferson nickel doesn't boast rare metals, it's composed of a copper-nickel alloy, it's still of interest to collectors because of its design continuity and the occasional mint errors. Some notable errors in 2002 nickels include off-center strikes, die cracks, and filled mint marks. These mistakes can significantly boost the value. of a coin, especially in higher grades. 5 cents. However, coins in uncirculated or near mint condition can be more valuable to collectors. Here are a few tips for those interested in collecting 22 Jefferson nickels. Even minor errors can make a big difference in value. Proof coins from the 2002 mint sets are struck with sharper details and can be worth more to collectors. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, the 2002 Jefferson nickel is a fun coin to explore. Its high mintage makes it easy to find, but the hunt for error coins or high-grade examples adds an exciting challenge. The Jefferson nickel, first minted in 1938, replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, the Jefferson nickel was chosen through a public competition and has become one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Here's a look at its development leading up to the 2002 issue. Features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. Schlag's design portrays Jefferson with a calm and thoughtful demeanor, displays Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia plantation home, Enlightenment ideals. During World War II, the Jefferson nickel underwent significant changes. To conserve nickel, which was a critical wartime material, the U.S. Mint introduced a silver war nickel composition in 1942. These coins contain 35% silver, along with copper and manganese. War nickels are distinguished by a large mint mark placed above Monticello on the reverse. After the war, the original copper-nickel alloy returned. Over the decades, the Jefferson nickel saw only minor modifications, improved striking techniques for sharper details, adjustments to Monticello's details to enhance visibility. The 2002 issue retained Schlag's original design, continuing a run that spanned over 6 decades. The high mintage reflects its status as a common coin in everyday transactions. However, 2002 marked one of the final years of the classic Jefferson nickel design. In 2004, the U.S. Mint introduced the Westward Journey series to commemorate the Lewis and Clark expedition, altering the reverse design for the first time since 1938. The 2002 Jefferson nickel represents the tail end of an era. Its design remained a familiar sight in Americans' pockets, echoing decades of history. Today, while these coins are mostly valued at 1989, Jefferson nickel, a small but mighty piece of U.S. history. Is it just a regular coin, or could it be worth more than 5 cents? Let's find out. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple in American currency since 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, this coin honors Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and features his iconic Monticello home on the reverse. 1989 was a pivotal year in world history, and I'm sure they spend many a night talking about which was the win. During the convening of the United States, the Jefferson nickel continued its steady production, circulating in the pockets of millions of Americans. Now, let's talk about the design. On the obverse, you'll see a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Notice the details in his hair and his sharp profile. Below his portrait is the mint year, 1989, and the motto, "In God We Trust." Flip the coin, and there's Monticello, Jefferson's beloved plantation home. Look for the Latin phrase, a pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, and the words 5 cents and Unit States of America. As you can see, the 1989 Jefferson nickel is not a rare coin, with over 1 billion produced for circulation. Look for the Latin phrase a pluribus unum, meaning over 1 billion produced for circulation. For circulated coins, the value typically stays at 5 cents. However, uncirculated coins with a high grade might sell for $1 to $5. Proof coins from San Francisco can range from $3 to $15, depending on their condition and certification. Rare errors, like off-center strikes or die cracks, can increase the coin's value significantly. If you have a 1989 Jefferson nickel with an unusual feature, it's worth having it appraised by a professional. So, how can you tell if your 1989 Jefferson nickel is valuable? Start by inspecting the mint mark and overall condition. Use a magnifying glass to spot any errors or unique features. And remember, a certified coin grading service can confirm your coin's grade and authenticity. The 1989 Jefferson nickel may not make you rich, but it's a wonderful piece of history that reminds us of Thomas Jefferson's legacy. So check your change. Who knows, you might just find a hidden gem among your nickels. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin collecting, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications for more coin insights. Until next time, happy collecting.